Chapter 1. I woke up in a clichéd melodrama where I was a rich CEO, arriving at the moment when the Cinderella cleaning heroine was about to enter the elevator. Opening my eyes, I saw the heroine clutching her chest, sharply scolding, "Sir, please delete the photos you secretly took of me." A classic misunderstanding in the original drama, the prologue to Love. Suddenly, colorful bullet comments exploded on the screen. I bet 50 cents. In 3 seconds this man will pull at his tie and say, "Woman, you're asking for death. Move the camera to the left. I want to see the iconic scene where he wall slams her with a 180-degree turn." Hehe. I'm waiting to see the cleaning girl turn into the CEO's wife. The Civil Affairs Bureau is ready. I'm going to send 10 rockets as gifts. The CEO is about to fall for this defiant woman in the next second. I glanced at the comments and my gaze fell on her trembling hand and cheap ID badge. Sneering out loud, "Fall for her, this woman with no professionalism, spouting nonsense, and being so noisy. The CEO. Why on earth would I fall for a naive, clueless woman? Am I crazy?" In the heroine's stunned gaze, I directly pressed the call button. Human Resources, the cleaning staff, Sophia, on the 18th floor, has made baseless accusations that a client secretly took photos and disturbed public order. Write a serious reprimand. Performance zeroed for the month. If this happens again, she's fired. The bullet comments froze instantly. Performance zeroed. Wait, what? Is this how the plot is playing out? Am I watching a paid video? I thought this was supposed to be a sweet romance. Is this what I get? They causing a scene now, but later they'll regret it. The CEO will beg for her forgiveness. Wong, you're asking for trouble. I paid no attention to the comments as I exited the elevator in Sophia's dumbfounded gaze. The bullet comments were still wildly scrolling. Wait till you get slapped in the face, CEO. The more ruthless you are now, the more miserable you'll be later. I'm waiting for Sophia's revenge. If you don't listen to the bullet comments' advice, trouble is just around the corner. CEO, you're going to regret this. I scoffed. Regret? Me begging for her forgiveness? Go back to the original story. In the original story, I indeed fell for this loud, boundaryless, and unprofessional cleaning girl. Then what happened? Misunderstandings piled up. She thought I was cold and heartless. I thought she was ungrateful. We tortured each other. And then came the classic plot. I realized I loved her. I started chasing my wife, flowers, cars, houses. I gave up my billions and my dignity as CEO. I waited for her under her apartment building in the rain. She slapped me, yelling, "Go away." And then I shamelessly went after her. In the end, after a kidnapping by the evil second female lead, I came to my senses, and she was moved to tears. A perfect ending. I held Cinderella, feeling like I had the whole world. Bullshit. George, the head of Wong Group, smart, ruthless, standing on the shoulders of giants, tripling the family business. I handle billions daily. My decisions affect the livelihoods of thousands of employees. How much is my time worth per second? Where should I focus my energy? To play a stupid game of you run, I chase with a cleaning lady who doesn't even understand basic workplace rules and dares to falsely accuse the CEO of taking secret photos? Or should I focus on market expansion, acquisitions, and driving technological innovation? Is the answer even up for debate? A humble love game. That's something a brain-dead CEO puppet in a poorly written script would do. The CEO stomps on his dignity, turns his career into a joke, just to win back a woman who, aside from being kind and stubborn, is completely useless. That kind and stubborn trait in reality is just called stupidity and obsession. Be her simp. Let her make a comeback to create a plot twist. With her 3,000 monthly salary cleaning skills, or her true nature of just covering her chest and screaming when faced with a problem. Don't even think about it. Chapter 2. I arrived at the office, and my phone rang. I glanced at the screen, my mom's exclusive ringtone. As soon as I answered, the bullet comments went wild again. Iconic scene alert. CEO Wong is about to use the heroine as a shield. The Civil Affairs Bureau is waiting for you. I bet 10 carnival gift packages. I leaned back and put it on speakerphone. My mom's voice came through strong and clear. "George, next month you'll marry into the Liu family. Willow Liu is a good girl, and you're not allowed to refuse." I thought about the original plot, where the female antagonist, Willow, deeply loved the male lead, but he didn't like her and used Sophia as a shield. After being pressured into marriage, he dragged Sophia to the Civil Affairs Bureau and they got their marriage license. Then they lived together but in separate rooms, gradually developing feelings. Meanwhile, the female antagonist, consumed by love and hate, turned into a black lotus and began sabotaging their relationship. The bullet comments were even more excited now. Willow, the evil female antagonist, is here. Classic stand-in literature ready. Haha. The CEO is going to slam the phone down and yell, "I'm in love with someone else. I won't marry Willow." But to the surprise of the bullet comments, I calmly replied, "Listen to your mother. Where's Willow? If it's convenient, we can get the marriage license today." There was a 3-second silence on the other end of the line. My mom seemed unable to believe it. Although I had grown up with Willow and we were childhood friends, I had never been interested in the arrogant, delicate girl. She probably wondered why I had suddenly changed my mind, but only I knew that the current Willow had not yet turned into the Black Lotus. She was rich, beautiful, and her family business was even stronger than mine. Most importantly, she had eyes only for me. Why would I settle for a cleaning lady with a monthly salary of 3,000 yuan when I could have such a perfect wife? Am I crazy, or is everyone else crazy? And at that moment, the bullet comments were losing their minds. What happened to running away from marriage? Where's the Civil Affairs Bureau? Where's the cleaning girl? Did they mix up the script? I paid for VIP just to see this. My mom trembled, saying, "You can't refuse." "What? You agreed?" "Yep, of course I agreed. A strong partnership sounds great," I replied. I twirled my pen and asked, "Is Willow downstairs? Should we go to the Civil Affairs Bureau now?" My mom laughed and said, "Then let's get engaged tonight. I'll send out the notice." The bullet comments completely lost it. What happened to fighting against the family for love? The original story is fake, right? Refund. This plot isn't even worth watching by a dog. Chapter 3. After hanging up the phone, I started handling company documents. Bang. The door was slammed open, hitting the wall. Sophia rushed in. Her eyes were a bit red, her chest heaving, and she marched straight toward my large desk. "CEO Wang, why did you deduct my performance?" Her voice was shaky with tears, but she tried to hold it together. "Even if you're the CEO, you can't be unreasonable." The bullet comments exploded with energy, coming back to life. Here it comes. Here it comes. The iconic scene, though late, is here and won't be missed. Ah, the cleaning girl is facing off with the CEO. So brave. CEO, look up. Look at her stubborn little face. Yes, yes, this is the vibe. Get up. Rip off your tie. Wall slam incoming. I've worn out the screen recording button. This pitiful look. CEO, how are you not moved yet? Should we move the Civil Affairs Bureau to your doorstep? Hehe. I leaned back in my office chair, not moving. I didn't even raise my eyelids, my fingers lightly tapping on the smooth surface of the desk. The office was filled only with her heavy breathing and the soft tapping of my fingers, along with the colorful and rapidly scrolling bullet comments. The bullet comments were going wild now. It's happening. The CEO is about to explode. Classic line incoming. 3-second countdown. 3, 2, 1. Put a mic in the CEO's mouth. Quick. Have him say, "Woman, you're playing with fire." Or, "You've caught my attention. Come on, say it." Finally, I lifted my eyes. My gaze was like an ice pick, cutting through the chaotic bullet comments and fixing on her face. No anger, no interest, just pure, cold scrutiny, like I was looking at a malfunctioning part. "Who allowed you to come in?" Sophia froze for a moment. The words she had prepared for confrontation stuck in her throat. She probably expected me to fly into a rage, or maybe, as the comments expected, for me to fall for her. She didn't expect this question. "I came to ask about the performance. Entering without an appointment is against the rules." I interrupted her, speaking slowly, every word clear. "Did the front desk notify me? Did the secretary approve? Is your name in the appointment system?" The bullet comments instantly froze. What? What appointment? CEO, wake up. Is this really the time for appointments? Isn't this supposed to be a sweet drama? Do you two have a grudge? Refund. I'm done watching this. Sophia from the cleaning department. I don't care who you are. I interrupted her again, my voice colder. Who allowed you to barge into the CEO's office? Did you even read the employee manual? What happened to basic etiquette? Who taught you to storm into other people's offices like this? Sophia was completely stunned. She opened her mouth, her eyes full of confusion and a hint of panic. The intense confrontation she expected never happened. Her lips moved as if she wanted to say something, but no words came out. The bullet comments were going crazy. Etiquette, CEO. You're teaching Cinderella etiquette. Ah, the script is mixed up. Where's the wall slam? Where's the heart-throbbing moment? I sent the focus on the misunderstanding here. Guys, I'm dying. The CEO's focus is so unique, but why do I kind of like it? I agree. This cleaning girl has no manners. I looked at her embarrassment with no change in my expression. In fact, I almost wanted to laugh. What were the bullet comments expecting? Some melodramatic romantic twist? Were they expecting me to have feelings for this woman with no professional conduct? No appointment. Barging into the CEO's office. I picked up the internal phone, my voice unchanged. Security department, 18th floor. Sophia, please escort her out. Also, this is a violation. If it happens again, according to company policy, she'll be fired. Sophia's face instantly went pale. She probably finally realized that in my eyes, she was just an employee who made a mistake, a problem that needed to be handled according to the rules. It had nothing to do with love, feelings, or anything like that. 2 tall security guards quickly appeared at the door. Miss Sophia, please. The guards' voices were polite but firm. Sophia looked at the guards, then at my cold expression, and finally couldn't hold back anymore. Tears streamed down her face. She stomped her foot and shouted through her tears, "George, you bastard." Then she covered her face and ran out. The bullet comments exploded in chaos. Calling security, marking a violation. She's crying. Wah. The heroine is crying. CEO, you have no heart. Wasn't this supposed to be a sweet romance? I've taken off my pants and this is what you show me. Refund. I'm done with this crappy plot. Ha ha ha. What the hell is this violation? CEO, you're single because you deserve it. Don't laugh upstairs. This is fuel for the future plot. The harsher you are now, the worse the consequences will be later. Yes, CEO. All this drama you're causing now will lead to even more tears later. I listened to the hysterical bullet comments predicting the future, only feeling irritated. Regain her trust. For her. Who gave them the illusion? A cleaning lady who doesn't even understand basic workplace rules, who only reacts impulsively and cries at every opportunity. What makes her worth my time to chase? Because of her ability to cause trouble. Deductions in performance. Dealing with violations according to the rules, that's just basic management. Love. Heartthrobs. Chasing after a woman. A waste of life. My time is precious. Every second should be spent wisely. Who would want to play this childish make-believe game with them? Chapter 4. After Sophia stormed out, the office finally quieted down. The bullet comments were still flooding the screen, full of warnings about how I would regret it and protests demanding a refund. I ignored them completely. They were just noise. I picked up my phone and habitually opened the company's internal monitoring system, not to watch Sophia, but purely out of safety habit. My finger swiped across the screen, bringing up the surveillance feed outside the cleaning department's break room. In the footage, Sophia was leaning against the wall. She wasn't crying. She had her head down, fingers tapping furiously on her phone screen. Her expression not one of hurt, but of confusion and frustration. The bullet comments suddenly grew quieter, likely because the viewers realized her state was off. I zoomed in on the screen, turning up the volume. The audio from the surveillance was clear. Sophia's muttering came through loud and clear. Something's not right. How come he's not following the script at all? She furrowed her brow and spoke to herself as she stared at her phone. He wasn't moved in the elevator. Okay, fine. But this classic office confrontation scene. He's talking to me about rules, marking a violation. She anxiously raked her hair with both hands. This George, does he really not like me? That can't be right. In the original, he should be interested by now. The bullet comments immediately froze, as if the pause button had been hit. A few seconds later, an explosion of reactions flooded the screen. Wait, what? Did she just say that? I can't believe it. What? This is a script? Did she just say original and follow the script? Information overload. My brain's burning up. The heroine knows the plot. She knows she's the heroine. Suddenly, I don't find the heroine cute anymore. Wow, the CEO's been kept in the dark all this time. Don't rush. The CEO is watching the surveillance. Ha ha ha. This is intense. A big script revision in progress. Oh no. The CEO heard it all. He must be confused. Confused? You're underestimating the CEO. Look at his expression. I was indeed sitting in front of the surveillance screen, my face expressionless, my inner thoughts calm. So this is it. No wonder her behavior was so irrational, accusing the CEO of secretly taking photos, storming into the office without any sense of propriety. It wasn't stupidity. It was because she knew the script was supposed to unfold this way. She thought I would fall for her, that I would indulge her, that I would start this so-called love story. Absurd. Sophia kept muttering, her voice tinged with anxiety. I heard he's supposed to be getting engaged to Willow tonight. The original didn't have this happen so quickly. Could it be that I didn't follow the plot? And now the butterfly effect is kicking in. She nervously bit her nails, her eyes flickering as she seemed to be thinking fast. No way. I can't let him get engaged. If he really marries Willow, what happens to me as the heroine? What about his billions of assets? Do I just let it go? She suddenly straightened up, her eyes filled with a determination to do whatever it took. I've got to find a way. Go to the engagement party, create some misunderstandings, or sabotage it, and bring the plot back on track. She clenched her fists, psyching herself up. Yes, that's it. This is the key turning point. I've got to win George back. Otherwise, my Cinderella comeback will be ruined. The bullet comments went completely crazy. Ha 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 ha. She's going to sabotage it. Kidnapping the groom. For the plot? What the hell is bring the plot back on track? Heroine. Get a grip. Big script revision in progress. I'm laughing so hard. CEO's reaction. I'm just quietly watching your performance. Oh no. The CEO heard everything. He's definitely pissed. Pissed. Look at the corner of his mouth. It's twitching. Sharp eyes upstairs. The CEO's smirking. He's definitely smirking. This is getting good. The CEO will be on guard tonight. Heroine's in trouble. In trouble. The CEO knows she's just a plot tool now. He won't go easy on her. Reclaim the heroine. Beg for forgiveness. Not happening. This is the counterattack moment. I can't wait to see tonight's drama unfold. It's going to be so satisfying. I watched Sophia, full of determination, on the surveillance screen. She was still there, planning how to create misunderstandings, how to win George back, all for her ridiculous heroine plot. I turned off the surveillance feed. The office fell silent again. The bullet comments were still in full swing, predicting a spectacular showdown at the engagement party later. I leaned back in my chair, my fingers lightly tapping the armrest. Misunderstandings. Creating trouble. Winning him back. For the plot? Heh. She thought she was the one rewriting fate as the heroine. Too bad. In my world. George's world. The script? I call the shots. No one else is going to write my story. Chapter 5. In the afternoon, there was a polite knock on the office door. 3 soft taps. Come in. The door opened. Willow stood at the entrance, looking exquisitely dressed. She wore a gentle, perfect smile on her face, her eyes sparkling as she looked at me with unabashed joy. George. Her voice was soft, with a hint of careful excitement. I hope I'm not disturbing you. The bullet comments immediately lit up. Oh ho, the female antagonist has arrived. Willow is here, the CEO's fiancée. Tisk, those eyes absolutely sparkling. Rivals face to face. Wait, the heroine isn't here. Waiting for the showdown. Although it hasn't started yet. She's so beautiful, much more pleasant to look at than that cleaning girl. Yes, this is a match made in heaven. Please sit. I put the documents down and poured her a glass of warm water. I didn't need to be cold to her. Willow walked in and gently closed the door behind her. She didn't rush in like Sophia had. She didn't sit either, standing a few steps away from my desk, her hands clasped in front of her in a poised manner. But her gaze toward me was more focused than ever before, filled with a kind of relief as if she had regained something lost. George. She called my name again, her voice trembling slightly. I just wanted to come and see you, and it feels so good to see you again. I was stunned by her words. Countless bullet comments flashed across the screen. That opening line. This feels off. Willow took a deep breath, looking at me, her eyes filled with guilt, fear, and a sense of clarity that came with surviving a disaster. George, I've behaved terribly. I had a dream, and in it, I couldn't get your love. Out of jealousy and frustration, I did many foolish things. I became someone I didn't recognize, someone vile and unworthy. The bullet comments exploded. I'm stunned. Why is the plot different again? Wait, what? This is a dream. Isn't this from the original plot? Does Willow know the plot too? Information overload. My brain's going to fry. How many people are actually reincarnated here? What about the CEO? Screenwriter. Come here and get beaten. This plot is already exploded. Willow didn't pay any attention to the crazy bullet comments, of course. She couldn't see them. Her eyes were only on me. And she continued. I acted like a madwoman, hurting you and others. And in the end, I destroyed myself. Her eyes reddened. Her voice choked but firm as she said, now that I've woken up from that dream, I won't let love turn to hate anymore. I won't let jealousy cloud my judgment. She took a step forward, her eyes sincere as she said, I will cherish this opportunity, cherish you, and I will try my best to be worthy of you, to be a wife who truly understands and supports you. George, let me love you properly. The bullet comments went absolutely wild. Ah, it really is a rebirth. The female antagonist has been reborn. She knows the plot. She admits that in her past life, she became a vicious antagonist because of love and hate. What the hell? This twist, this plot, genius. So now she's going to redeem herself, become a virtuous wife. The heroine's like, am I a clown? Reincarnated versus native CEO. How's this going to play out? CEO, you better say something. I'm dying over here. The office fell silent. Only Willow's slightly quickened breaths and the tears shimmering in her eyes, along with those almost blindingly bright bullet comments, filled the air. I looked at Willow. That sincerity and determination in her eyes didn't seem fake. She had truly changed. From the spoiled, temperamental, and arrogant flower vase, she had turned into a woman who had experienced pain, understood self-reflection, and was determined to change. Interesting. A cleaning girl shouting about correcting the script. A marriage prospect openly admitting to having rebirthed and regretted. How many more scripts and past lives are there in this world that I don't know about? I looked into Willow's eager eyes, smiled, and said, "Don't be late for the engagement party tonight." Chapter 6. At 7 in the evening, the Wang family's old mansion banquet hall was brightly lit, and the place was buzzing with guests. All the important figures in the industry were present, their voices blending together, with glasses clinking and laughter filling the air. Willow and I stood at the head of the room, receiving sincere and polite blessings from all sides. She had her arm linked with mine, her smile composed, her eyes bright and steady. The bullet comments went wild. Wow, the engagement scene. Such a grand affair. Where's the heroine? Where is she? Hurry up and cause some trouble. I'm dying. Where is the cleaning girl? Why hasn't she shown up yet? Waiting for the iconic scene. Will the CEO protect his fiancée, or will this be a battlefield? I bet the heroine will show up soon. The head of security quietly walked up to me, lowering his voice. CEO Wang. Sophia has sneaked in, wearing a server's outfit, wandering around the side hall. Do you want us to handle it? I swirled my glass, the ice cubes lightly clinking. No need, let her be. Let's watch her perform. The captain nodded and retreated. Willow turned her head to look at me, her eyes questioning. I slightly shook my head, signaling that it was fine. She didn't ask any more questions, just tightened her grip on my arm. The bullet comments caught it. What did the security say? The CEO's expression is so subtle. Definitely something to do with the heroine. The CEO said, no need, he's doing it on purpose. This is going to be good. CEO, please start your performance. Not long after, there was indeed a small commotion in the side hall. Sophia's voice deliberately rose in pitch, laced with a cry and panic, carrying clearly across the room. Oh my God, isn't this CEO Wang? Who is this young lady beside him? CEO Wang even sent me those photos. She held a phone with the screen lit up, seemingly wanting to show it but afraid to pull it back in. A few guests nearby were drawn to her, their faces filled with suspicion. The bullet comments exploded. Here it comes. Here it comes. Classic framing. The photo meme plot might be late, but it's here. Ha ha ha. The cleaning girl is starting her performance. Quick, point the camera that way. What's going on? Someone asked in a low voice. Sophia's eyes were red, her voice not too loud, but just enough for those around to hear. I'm an employee of Wang Group. CEO Wang secretly took photos of me in the elevator and threatened me. He said he liked me. She stopped herself, glancing at me and Willow, her eyes both innocent and accusatory. Whispers in the crowd grew louder. Eyes began darting back and forth between me, Willow, and Sophia. Suspicion, curiosity, watching for drama. The bullet comments went crazy. Yes, yes, this is the vibe. CEO, explain yourself, protect your fiancé. Fight, fight. Willow's smile faded. She let go of my arm. I thought she was about to question me, or feel embarrassed. She didn't. She walked straight towards Sophia. Her steps were steady, and her aura was fully unleashed. The bullet comments grew tense. The female antagonist is advancing. The legitimate wife is about to make her move. Sophia saw Willow approaching, and a glimmer of smugness flashed in her eyes, as though she thought her plan had succeeded. She raised her phone, her voice even more pitiful. Miss Liu, look, here's the proof. CEO Wang. Willow didn't even glance at the phone screen. She stopped right in front of Sophia, only a few inches between them. Her gaze was sharp like a knife, and her voice was cold and clear, cutting through the surrounding noise. Sophia. The entire room immediately quieted down. Willow stared at Sophia, her voice cold and deliberate. Cut the act. It's cheap and vile. Sophia's face froze in disbelief. What did you say? Willow sneered, her voice loud enough for those nearby to hear. What photos? Edited? Or just something you found online? Do you think this kind of low-level framing can fool anyone? She took a step forward, completely overpowering Sophia. What happened in the elevator today? Do you really think no one knows? You falsely accused the CEO of secretly taking photos, disturbing the peace, got reprimanded and had your performance docked. And now you're here at my engagement party spreading lies to take revenge on CEO Wang and disgust me. Sophia's face turned pale, her lips trembling. You're slandering me. I have proof. Proof. Willow scoffed, her eyes filled with mocking insight. Your so-called proof only shows your malicious intent. What else does it prove? That George, with his suitable and well-matched fiancée, prefers to harass a cleaning girl with no professionalism, full of delusions, who only uses underhanded tactics. Her words were like whips, striking Sophia and leaving her staggering. The bullet comments went crazy. Holy crap, Willow's so fierce. Queen speech. She's so badass. She tore the mask off. No mercy. The cleaning girl's face is green. Ha ha ha. Sophia was completely panicked, not expecting that Willow would not only not believe her but also expose her background. She screamed, "You're lying. You're jealous. George is my perfect match." "Shut up," Willow interrupted sharply, her eyes icy cold. "You think you can just say George's name? He's my fiancé, the CEO of Wong Group. What are you, an employee on the verge of being fired, and you think you have the right to slander him here?" She lifted her chin, exuding absolute disdain. "Security, escort this troublemaker, who's deliberately slandering and disrupting the peace, out of here." Two tall security guards immediately stepped forward. Sophia completely broke down. She screamed, desperate and hysterical, "This isn't right. It shouldn't be like this. I'm the heroine. I'm the heroine. George should love me. You're all side characters. You don't understand. The plot isn't supposed to go like this." She struggled like a madwoman as the security guards dragged her out. Her screams gradually faded. The bullet comments fell silent for a few seconds before completely exploding. "The heroine has gone crazy. Holy crap. A massive plot twist. Social death. She's completely finished. Look at the CEO's cold expression. So satisfying." This counterattack was epic. Everyone was saying the heroine would beg for forgiveness. Not anymore. At this rate, the male lead might scatter her ashes anytime. The banquet hall quickly returned to a calm surface. Willow walked back to my side, her smile fully restored, as if nothing had happened. She quietly asked me, "Did that scare you?" I looked into her bright eyes, filled with concern for me and a little pride in her success. I shook my head, handled very cleanly. She smiled. The bullet comments were still flooding the screen. "Willow nailed this. This fiancé is solid. She'll take action when it counts. CEO's lucky." Heroine script, torn up. Chapter 7. The engagement banquet ended, and the guests scattered. Willow and I sat in the car, and the driver started the engine. The bullet comments were still reminiscing about the drama that had just unfolded. "Amazing. The cleaning girl is done for. Willow's aura is massive. I'm shipping this couple now." Female lead script, tear it up and feed it to the dogs. The car left the old house and merged onto the ring road. Streetlights quickly passed by the window. Willow leaned against my shoulder, eyes closed and very quiet. Suddenly, boom. A loud bang. The car shook violently, and the tires screeched against the road. The sudden brake made my head crash into the back of the front seat. The bullet comments exploded instantly. "What the hell? Car accident. Kidnapping. It's definitely a kidnapping. Just like in the original plot. Can the female lead fight back? Does she have this ability? Willow is in danger." The car door was roughly yanked open, and cold wind rushed in. A few hands, wearing black gloves, reached inside, with great strength and clear intent, to grab Willow. I immediately moved to block, but my wrist was caught by a hand like a vice, twisted behind my back. "Stay still." The hoarse voice reeked of alcohol. Willow was dragged out of the car. She didn't scream, staying calm, her eyes sharp as she scanned the situation. "George, don't move, they have knives." She shouted at me. The bullet comments went wild. "Willow is so calm. The CEO is being held down. It's over. It really is a kidnapping. Was it the female lead's doing?" I was pinned tightly to my seat, watching as Willow was shoved into another unmarked van. The door slammed shut, and the van sped off, disappearing into the night. The bullet comments flooded the screen. "Call the police. CEO. Chase them." I shook off the hand holding me down and rubbed my numbed wrist. "Mr. Wong, what should we do?" The driver's face was as pale as death. I ignored him and pulled out my phone, dialing the head of security. "David, Willow's been kidnapped." A black unmarked van just got on the South Ring Road, heading toward the East Suburban abandoned chemical factory. "Keep an eye on them. Wait for my orders." My voice was quick and steady. After hanging up, I dialed another number. "Chief Luis, this is George. I need you to look up a few people. I'll send you the details." My voice was as calm as ever. The bullet comments were confused. "Not calling the police. He seems to know who did it. East Suburban Chemical Factory. Isn't that the place where the villainess kidnaps the female lead in the original story? Did the CEO unlock some superpower? Does the CEO know the plot too?" The car turned around, the engine roaring as we sped toward the eastern part of the city. The chemical factory area was desolate, a huge black silhouette crouching in the night. There was a lookout at the entrance, a man resembling a skinny monkey. When he saw my car, he panicked and ran inside. I got out of the car and walked in alone. The bullet comments started screaming, "Going in alone? CEO, don't be impulsive. Where's the bodyguard?" The factory was empty, with broken lights hanging from the ceiling and dim lighting. Willow was tied to a chair in the middle. She looked at me, signaling that she was fine. Sophia stood beside her, holding a fruit knife. The blade shook violently. Her eyes were red, and her hair was a mess, looking like a gambler who had lost everything. "George, you're finally here." Her voice was sharp. laced with a sob. You forced me to do this. The bullet comments flooded in. It's her. She's gone mad. Completely insane. The knife. She has a knife. It's so close to Willow's neck. I stopped. About 10 meters away from them. My gaze swept over Willow to confirm she wasn't injured before turning to Sophia. Let her go. My voice was as cold as ice. Let her go. Sophia laughed neurotically, waving the knife around as she spoke. And then what? Call the police to arrest me. Put me in jail. I won't. Suddenly, she pressed the tip of the knife against Willow's neck. Willow's body tensed up, but she remained silent. Why? Sophia screamed at me, tears and snot running down her face. George, tell me why. In the original story, you weren't like this. You were supposed to like me. You were supposed to go crazy for me. Why do you look at me like I'm garbage now? Why her? She pointed at Willow, and the tip of the knife pressed closer. The bullet comments went into a panic. It's over. It's over. Blood is about to be spilled. CEO, comfort her. Saving her is more important. Say something nice. Calm her down. I looked at Sophia's twisted face. She looked like a pathetic puppet, suffocated by the so-called script, and completely driven mad by the collapse of that script. Absurd. A waste of time. Just as I was about to speak, a light, cold laugh escaped Willow's lips. Sophia suddenly looked down. What are you laughing at? Willow slightly tilted her head, avoiding the blade just a little. A shallow cut appeared on her neck. She looked at Sophia with eyes full of contempt, like staring at a worm in a gutter. You even deserve to ask. Her voice wasn't loud, but it was as clear as a blade scraping against glass. Sophia froze. What? Willow stared directly into her eyes, speaking every word with icy precision. Ask why. You even deserve to have him answer. A fool who only knows how to throw tantrums and resort to lowly schemes like kidnapping. A waste who can't live without the female lead script. A pitiful creature who can't even recognize herself. Willow slightly raised her chin, and even with the knife against her neck, her aura completely crushed Sophia's. Do you really think you deserve to ask George, why don't you like me? What are you even worth? Sophia was completely frozen, her pupils dilated, her lips trembling. It was like her strength was drained by those words. Her face lost all color, leaving only ashen gray. No, she mumbled, the knife clattering to the ground. Suddenly, the roof of the factory exploded with blinding lights, and several strong beams of light precisely focused on Sophia. The sound of heavy footsteps echoed, and the security team rushed in. With David at the front, he immediately shoved the dazed Sophia to the ground. The ropes around Willow were quickly cut away. I walked over, and Willow instantly stood up, throwing herself into my arms. Her body trembled slightly, the calmness from earlier clearly a facade. It's okay now. I patted her back, glancing at the muddy figure of Sophia on the ground. She was roughly dragged up, her eyes hollow, repeating over and over, I'm the female lead. I'm the one. The bullet comments went silent for a few seconds, then erupted in a frenzy. Willow, Willow, Willow. She went insane. That last line was the kill shot. The cleaning girl's soul was shattered. What are you even worth? That's the line of the year. This is the true female lead. She can scatter Sophia's ashes. CEO Wang's cold face threw out. Inner monologue. My wife is so cool. The sound of sirens grew closer. I held Willow tightly as we walked out of the ruins. Behind us was Sophia's breakdown, mixed with the chaotic celebration of the bullet comments. Chapter 8. The red and blue lights of the siren flashed outside the car window, blinding and noisy. Sophia's hoarse cries were completely trapped behind the police car door, like watching a dying fish floundering through a thick glass. Is it over? Willow leaned against my shoulder, letting out a small hum, her voice a bit hoarse. The car started, leaving the chaos behind. The bullet comments were still flooding in. The cleaning girl's plot is over. Everyone rejoice. Queen Willow is amazing. This ending was so satisfying. I'm tipping 10 rockets. What about next? Civil Affairs Bureau. Why are you rushing? They'll definitely go home for some hugs and kisses first. I'm waiting for the paid content. Hehe. The car drove smoothly. Willow closed her eyes, her breathing gradually calming down. The scratch on her neck was shallow, and it had already dried. I didn't say anything, my fingers tapping on my knee, like reviewing a high-risk merger deal. But this time, it seemed the cleanup work was done. The bullet comments quieted for a moment, then began to stir again. What's the CEO thinking? Reviewing his heroic moment. He must be thinking about how to comfort his fiancée. I'm dying of anxiety. Speak up, CEO. The car stopped downstairs at Willow's apartment building. We're here, the driver said softly. Willow opened her eyes, her gaze already clear again. The fierce energy she had used to tear apart Sophia at the chemical factory was gone. When she got out of the car, her steps were a little unsteady. I followed her out into the cool night wind. I'll walk you up, I said. She didn't refuse and nodded. The elevator was cramped. Just the two of us. The numbers ticked up one by one, and no one spoke. The bullet comments couldn't hold back. Elevator. Again. The elevator. The wheel of fate. This time, the CEO must be moved. Right. The atmosphere is perfect. Kiss already. I'm dying. I bet 5 cents. The CEO won't be able to resist once they reach the door. Willow leaned against the elevator wall, glancing at me quickly before turning her head back. The light from the elevator cast a quiet glow on her face. Ding! The elevator door opened, and we reached Willow's apartment. The hallway was covered in thick carpet, and it was completely silent underfoot. At her apartment door, she took out her key. The sound of metal clinking was sharp in the stillness. She turned the key. Click! The door opened. Willow didn't rush inside. She suddenly turned around, her back against the open door frame, facing me directly. It was very close. Her eyes, illuminated by the warm light in the hallway, were bright, like the harsh beams from the factory ceiling, but much softer. George. She called my name softly. She didn't say anything more but kept looking at me. There was so much in her gaze, the relief of surviving, and some unspoken resolve. She slightly lifted her heels and leaned in closer. Her movements weren't fast, but there was a hint of hesitation. The target was clear, my lips. The bullet comments went wild. Ah, they're kissing. They're kissing. The paid content is finally here. Cameraman, I'll give you an extra chicken leg for dinner. Get close-up shots of them. The wedding night is being reenacted in advance. Her breath brushed against me. Warm. I didn't pull away. Her lips were soft, with a slight tremor, and when they touched mine, there was a sense of reckless courage and the slippery feeling of surviving through something, like a feather finally finding a place to rest. I didn't close my eyes. My gaze drifted over Willow's slightly trembling lashes and saw more than I expected. Those colorful bullet comments, twisted with excitement, floating in the air. They were swirling and exploding around us, like a silent frenzy. Wah! I finally saw the real plot. Perfect lip shape, perfect angle. CEO, close your eyes. Enjoy it. Quick. Spin. Princess Carrie. Carry her inside. Paid content. I want to see the paid content. I'll pay more. Just as Willow's tongue lightly brushed across my lower lip, testing the waters for a little more, I moved. It wasn't to respond to the kiss. My arm lifted, crossing over her head. It wasn't for an embrace. I grabbed the thick, fluffy winter wool blanket hanging behind her door. With a sharp tug, the massive wool blanket, like a heavy curtain, full of dust and a faint camphor scent, came crashing down with a whoosh, completely enveloping us. Instantly, the tight closeness of our bodies, our entwined breaths, and the kiss that had just begun were all completely and utterly covered by it. Everything went dark. All I could hear was the sound of fabric rubbing and our breaths, suddenly becoming loud and frantic. The bullet comments were like a chicken with its neck squeezed. What is this? Why did it black out? A blanket. The CEO's covering up with a blanket. What the hell? Where's the scene? Mosaic. Where's the paid content? CEO, you're doing this on purpose. Refund. I paid for VIP to see this mosaic. Camera, get in there and film them. In the darkness, the blanket blocked out the light, as well as the chaotic world outside, full of bullet comments. Willow's body stiffened for a moment. Then, I felt her begin to shake in my arms. It wasn't fear. It was uncontrollable laughter. A muffled laugh slowly seeped through the thick blanket, her warm breath brushing against my neck, tickling me. She managed to squeeze out a word, her voice mixed with laughter and a bit of panting. I pulled her closer, my palm pressing against her back through the thick wool, smothering that laugh even more, blocking the bullet comments. I said briefly, the wild, screaming colorful words outside, demanding paid content, were completely blocked by this barrier. In the darkness, she froze for a moment before staring at me. George, you too? I nodded. Her laughter grew louder, and she relaxed completely, softening against my chest. Childish, she muttered softly, still with a smile. I didn't argue. Outside the blanket, the bullet comments had completely gone berserk. Lift it. If you can change the script, you should be able to let us see. CEO Wong, I order you to lift the blanket immediately. I'm reporting this. This is fraud. False advertising. Cameraman, are you dead? Get in there and film. It's over. It's over. The CEOs learned how to guard against peeping. The paid content is gone. My mental food. Black screen protest. Black screen forever. Wait, does the black screen mean they're in there? What the hell? It's possible. Even more exciting. The imagination space is off the charts. CEO, you're so good at this. The more you cover, the more tempting it is. High level. Damn it. This man's charm. Blocking makes it even more tantalizing. George, I'm at odds with you. Give me back my one night of passion. It was warm under the blanket. Her hair brushed against my chin, tickling a little. The sound of breathing was clear, filled with the warmth left by the kiss. The world shrank into this small, dark space, with only the two of us. No bullet comments, no plot, no female lead or villainous, only her and me, and this thick wool blanket, isolating everything. It was perfect. Outside the blanket, chaos reigned, with bullet comments cursing and screaming, but inside the blanket, there was peace. I held her for a while. Shall we go in? I asked softly. MHM. She responded with a smile in her voice, groping for my hand and guiding me backward toward the door. The door gently closed behind us. A soft click. It cut off the last bit of hallway light. It also completely shut out all the prying eyes and the crazy, scrolling bullet comments from the outside. The world became quiet. The screen went completely black. The last bullet comment floated by, alone, filled with overwhelming despair and anger. The end.